welcome to the return of love.
Hello and welcome to Return to Love, episode 3. And I'm your host, Bernadette Hall, the usual. So welcome back to another gathering in this sacred space. I want to invite you to take a breath with me. Inhale deeply and then exhale slowly. Yeah? So we're going to be talking about grief, loss, love, and returning to love. Grief can feel like it takes everything. Can it not? The loss of love, of presence, of touch, of the life we once knew. Sometimes it feels as though love itself has died. But love cannot die. Do you know why? Because love transforms. It waits. It returns in new ways. Sometimes fiercer, sometimes tender. Sometimes hidden in the quietest corners of our being. I know that's savage, isn't it? But it's true. So today's episode is going to be returning to love even more. And more as you align. And it's your invitation for you to remember that even in the depth of grief and breakdown, relationship breakdown, a divorce, love is never lost. And I'll explain why. When we grieve, what we often feel most deeply is the absence of love. We might tell ourselves, I'll never feel that kind of love again. Yeah, that kind of one what like beats you in the stomach with a red hot poker and feels like your soul's been dragged out. This belief is powerful and it is sacred because it is love that was broken open. Grief is a wound of love. It is love with no other place to land. It blooming aches, it burns, it hollows us out. And yet in that emptiness, something begins to stir, doesn't it? It does, it really does. Think of your grief as your evidence. So people are like, where do I go with this pain? But this is your evidence. You are grieving because you loved. You are grieving because love mattered. And though the person or the relationship may have begun in the form you knew, love is still alive within you. It's woven into ourselves. Your breath, your heartbeat, it's in your DNA strands. This truth is not meant to bypass the pain. It is meant to remind you love is not gone. It is here. And when you are ready, you'll find your way back to it. So how do we return back? I always like to bring in the goddess path energy. So I want to bring in the energy of the goddesses here because they teach us what it means to return again and again to love, even after savage loss and savage pain and heartbreak and feeling sick and can't sleep. So let's take Aphrodite, goddess of love and sensuality. Many know her as the goddess of beauty because she was and she still is. But she's also the goddess who rises from the sea foam after violence, after chaos. Her birth was not soft. It was born of rupture. She reminds us that love can be reborn from the depths of pain. You know, going from the abyss and rising up into the murky, well, it was murky at the bottom. You know, if you think about the sea and the murkiness of the deep darkness. And then we've got Freya, the Norse goddess of fierce devotion. She is no stranger to grief. She rides between worlds, gathering the souls of the dead, yet she embodies passion, desire, and love in all forms. And of course, my favourite goddess, Athena, the goddess of wisdom. She teaches us that love is not blind, it's discerning. It is our courage. We are courageous, and it calls us into our truth. It calls us into talking our truth. Who are you? with everything, without anything else. Where does that land? Where does that sit within your cells and DNA? Each of these goddesses whisper, love is not gone. It changes shape, but it remains. So how do we walk the path of return? So thinking firstly, by allowing grief its full expression, let it out. You really cannot swallow it. It's like swallowing poison. We cannot return to love if we silence the pain. Secondly, by practicing self-love in embodied ways, touching our skin, moving our bodies, speaking to ourselves as we would to our person who we loved, you know, or to your friend or your therapist or whoever. You know, it's about speaking your truth and letting it out. And thirdly, by opening ourselves up to the possibility that love still wants to flow through us, whether that's love from the earth, from our community, from spirit, or from another human being going forward. And I know that might land painfully, but this time really does pass. It may not feel like it, but it does when you return to love. So, for 5 minutes, let's practice an embodied ritual together. So, let's place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Close your eyes if you can. Breathe into the places where grief still lives in your body. Maybe it's in the heaviness in your chest or the hollowness in your stomach. Don't force it away, just notice. Or maybe it's a pain in your brain when you're overthinking, or the clenched jaws. And now, whisper slowly to yourself, I return to love again and again. I return to love again and again. I return to love again and again. And you can shout that up into the hills and the mountains if you want. You can get wild. Imagine now love as a flame being rekindled in your heart. Feel its warmth spreading through your chest. Can you feel it? It's like wildfire. Imagine love as a flowing river back into you, gently, steadily, unstoppable, unapologetic. Stay here for a few breaths. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. Let love return. Let love return. And just listen for this closing circle. You can keep your eyes open or you can keep them closed, whichever is suitable for you. Grief does not end love, my darlings. It's proof of it. Love is always waiting to be remembered, always ready to be reclaimed. Returning to love is your birthright. Yeah? If you want to go deeper, I really, really, really do invite you to journal on this question. Where in my life am I ready to welcome love back in? So where in your life are you ready to welcome love back in? Is it with yourself? Is it with someone else? Is it within nature? Have you stopped going into nature because it's scary? Because you feel anxious? So sit with that for a moment. And I'm going to leave you. I'm going to send you blessings, goddess energy, and so much love.
the return of